Isn't this just the coolest thing in the world? It's absolutely amazing. As the sun comes up from behind those clouds, you may find if you're using an auto mode or whatever, you're going to have to adjust your exposure. You're going to have to run with it as it's happening. Because if you don't, what will happen is it will confuse your light meter. If you're shooting manually, it should hold that. If you're shooting on aperture priority like myself, you're going to have to keep increasing the exposure because it's going to fool the camera into making it darker and darker. Keep your eye on these things, keep focused, keep concentrating, and just enjoy that. Isn't that so beautiful? Jenny, move, want it. It's not like bullying people out of the way, is there? Let's see what we can get. Oh, no, that wasn't the live view. That's the live view. Take that in a little more. Yeah. She's rocking and rolling, baby. Right. Look at that. We're going to lose that sun over the horizon very soon. And I have a sneaky suspicion it's going to set the sky on fire. Tenner on it. Us raving photographers, we've got to do what we've got to do to get the shot. Look at this man. The water's freezing. And I might do something similar later, you just don't know. This tide's coming in so fast. This is... Sorry. Back to work. Oh, look at that. Shoes and socks off, get in the water. It's freezing. But it means you can get the shot. It means you can get what I want. Something to think about. I keep talking about aperture priority because that's what I use. I'm not saying it's the only way. But as the sun goes below the horizon, your camera's going to start to think, oh, that's a bit dark, and it will start doing the opposite to what it was doing earlier. It's going to start brightening things up. But unless you want it bright, you're going to need to do the opposite. You're going to need to start underexposing a bit from what your camera is telling you to do. Otherwise, it's going to look too bright. You're going to start thinking, hey, that looks a bit daylighty. We want this to start getting a bit darker now. So very often, underexpose just a bit. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Squeaked, Jane. Yeah, it's going to run in a minute, isn't it? Oh yeah, I see. This is how you can get trapped, isn't it? Oh yes. Just go above high water mark somewhere, Taryn.
I'll leave these here.
No, can you leg them up above the high water? Yeah, we're getting some twinkly lights in town now as well. There may even be some shots to be had looking that way, because as the lights come on in town, it could be there's something shot from there. Oh, look at that. It's changing all the time. There's not a moment to lose in watching this. This girl invited us here to come and look at some photography with her, and she first showed me a picture of this place. She's ended up lugging our bags around and making sure my boots don't get full of water.
I'm good to you, aren't I?
You are, I owe you a beer. Mwah, thank you ever so much.
A pleasure.
At least a beer. I like these little ripples, I like this water. In fact, I think I'm going to get in the water again and see if I can let them really blur. It's just starting to get dark enough. But you've got to use a tripod to do this. So I've set the smallest aperture I can, the lowest ISO I can. I'm not going to run around going to get a filter or something because I haven't got time. I want to get on with the shoot. And also the light level is dropping sufficiently that I probably can do this. What I want to achieve is these waves just blurring as they come into the beach. Am I in your shot?
No, you're fine.
Okay. What have we got? Through the viewfinder, nearly gone. And, oh yes, here we go. Once again, we're now down to a 4-second exposure. Let's get those ripples. Here they are. Oh, I love it. I really love it. I'm also getting interested by this water that's coming in behind us as the tide is sneaking in. I know I'm looking everywhere but at you, but the tide is kind of sneaking in behind us. Look at this. This is how people get trapped on beaches and drown.
Yes, it is.
So be careful if you do this. And I'm in all seriousness, if you're going to go and do this, be careful. I know we can get around there. I know how solid the ground is under here. This guy is a photographer who's photographed the place many times, so I'm not too worried. Right, let's see what I can do with this little headland thing here, because I do rather like the idea of the two lots of water, one either side. Let's see what we can come up with. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Isn't that just totally, totally, totally beautiful and amazing? It really is an incredible world we live in, that something as beautiful as that can go on. I just love it. Don't you want to capture it? So we're about done now. I kind of expected the sky to be set on fire with that last little bit of red that I don't know if you can see on the horizon there. I did kind of hope it would come right across, but it didn't. Nonetheless, it's been a complete joy and a privilege for me to come here and take some pictures. I spend so much time in an office. To come out into the real world and shoot some pictures has been fantastic. And I hope it's given you some kind of an insight into what it takes to get a really beautiful picture, like the ones you see in IKEA. There's a lot of work involved. It isn't a case of going out and just taking loads and loads of pictures and hoping that there'll be an iconically beautiful image in there. It won't work like that. You do have to do some research. The journey for me began with a tip-off from Taran, and then we had Google Earth to have a look at it, to find out where it is, which way is it pointing, where's the sun going to come up, where's it going to go down, how are we going to go about it. We got here this morning about, I reckon, 11 o'clock and first started looking at it and wrecking it and walking around it and figuring out the angles that we wanted to be in, so that not a moment of that great evening light was wasted. Otherwise you arrive, you think, oh look, the sun's setting, oh quick, in the car, and it's too late, you've missed it. You've got to put some work into this. Do it on your own as well. Don't try doing this on a picnic with the family, because you're going to drive them nuts. They're going to hate you. Take your time, work your way through it, and you will go home with something you're really, really proud of. And when people say to you, did you get that in IKEA? You can just say, well, no, it's one I took. I love being big-headed like that. Anyway, the journey here tonight is over. The next thing to do is to go and have a look in the office in the morning to see what we've got. Here we are back at camp. I've loaded all the raw files into the computer. I've been through, I've edited them, and I've found the image that I'm going to work on. And I am going to do a bit of work on it, just as a professional printer would have worked on a neg by dodging and burning to get the very best from it. That's what I'm going to do. This image is slightly underexposed because down here I kind of wanted to make sure the sun was still there, so the overall thing looks a bit dark, but I didn't want to lose detail around the sun. I didn't want it to go white. When you're working on doing some post-production, you need to plan that just as you do the shoot. So looking at this, what I want to do is I want to brighten it up. I want to get it closer to the way my eye saw it. So I want the lighthouse a little bit brighter here. I want to keep this moodiness into the sky and have a little bit more detail in the foreground. And with a raw file, with digital, this is really, really great because you can very, very accurately dodge, burn, and just kind of lift it a bit. So let's have a look here. First thing, white balance. I don't really bother to white balance when I'm shooting raw because it's so easy to correct it afterwards in post-production. All I have to do is to pick up my white balance tool here, run it over something white, see where it looks about right. Yeah, I kind of like that. That's about right. Now let's start work. Away we go. Let's start brightening her up a little bit to get a bit more detail into the lighthouse. Let's push the sky back down a bit to get a bit more detail into the sky. There we go, there we go. Let's keep that moodiness at the top too much. Don't overdo these things. Let's take a look at the lighthouse. See what we can do to brighten her up a bit. Bit bigger brush. Start working away on that. That's going to be too bright. Just take it down a bit. We don't want it to look unnatural, I just want it a little bit brighter. That's more like it. Something subtle. It's not like me, is it? This is going to take me a while, and as this film's about shooting the image rather than post-production, why don't you come back and join me in a minute? So there we go, job done. That's how I want it to look. All I have to do now is email it to my lab. It looks good, doesn't it? And I think it absolutely belongs just there. You know what? The driving, the planning, the Google Earthing, the running around taking test shots, the wondering whether or not we're going to get the light and the shot at all, the hanging around, the waiting, the freezing cold feet. It was all so worth it.